It's time to talk some high school football playoff edition here. I'm Fox 3 Sports Director Nathan Thompson, along with the Tulsa World's Barry Lewis. Week 2 of the postseason. That means it's already state semifinal time in Class 6A1 and Class 6A2. Hard to believe we're already there. So make sure you pick up a Tuesday edition of the Tulsa World to see Barry's top 5 games, or you can see it at okprepsextra.com. So let's go over that list. Number 1 game. Not a tough one to pick. Jenks versus Union, another backyard bowl in the state semifinals at TU. That's Saturday at 1 o'clock.
Yes, Jenks dominated the first meeting between the teams this year back in week 2, but Union's gotten a lot better since then, so I think you're going to see a game this week that goes down to the wire. I think a pivotal matchup will be the quarterbacks. Jenks is Ian Corwin and Union's Peyton Thompson. Ian Corwin always seems to play really well against Union. Peyton Thompson had a big game against Jenks last year, but Jenks' defense did a really good job on the Union passing game in week 2, but Union's passing game is a lot better now than it was in week 2. So I think you're going to see a game that goes down to the wire.
And then game number 2, we go down to Class 6A2. Another semifinal matchup. Stillwater undefeated on the season, taking on Booker T, which is the defending state champs. A good one here. I think the Pioneers might be a little bit of a favorite, actually, over the Hornets, but who knows, right?
I think you'd have to regard Stillwater as a favorite because Stillwater is 11-0, and Booker T's offense has struggled this year, but Booker T is the defending champion, and Booker T still got so much talent that I give the Hornets a shot at defeating Stillwater. Booker T has this winning culture. Stillwater, it's their best season in a long time. It's almost a toss-up game. I guess I'm going to pick BTW. I will pick the Hornets, but again, this should be a great game at Owasso Stadium on Friday night.
Yeah, this one's a Friday night. Both the 6A1s are Saturday games. Both the 6A2 are Friday night games. It's kind of how it all worked out there in the state's 2 biggest classes. Number 3, speaking of 6A2 semifinals, Bixby taking on Midwest City. This one is in Jenks. They're playing at Allen Trimble Stadium Friday night. So again, the Spartans 10-1, ranked number 1 in your rankings, and they made the state finals last year. But Midwest City is 9-2.
Yes, Midwest City. It seems like that program over the last 5 years, they've done everything except get to the state championship game. They've won a lot of games, just haven't been able to win the big one. It's a rematch of Bixby's 14-12 win over Midwest City last year in the semifinals. I think this year's Bixby's team is better than last year's. Yeah. And Bixby was really impressive in putting 70 on the board against Lawton last week. Lauren Montgomery always seems to have Bixby playing its best football this time of the year. It's really tough to pick against Bixby, even though Midwest City is quite a formidable team and has one of the best quarterbacks in the state, Preston Colbert. It's kind of shows how good a games we have this week because your number 4 game is a state semifinal between Broken Arrow, number 1 in the state and undefeated, and Owasso, the defending state champions. But this is one where the Tigers have rolled over everyone this season, won by double digits against everyone, including Owasso. But the Rams are looking better than when they played earlier in the year. Yes, Owasso was missing 3 key starters against Broken Arrow in that first game. Isaiah Jacobs, who's a difference maker at running back, as well as 2 defensive standouts, Hilton Mosby and Kiwan Hay. So I think Owasso, this game will be closer than in week 2 when they met, but I think Broken Arrow's got too much firepower. Will Keeney, the Owasso quarterback, who led Owasso to the state title last year, he had a tough night that night. Broken Arrow's defense is so good. But I think with the addition of Isaiah Jacobs, there won't be as much pressure on the passing game. There'll be a little bit more balance this time. So I think that'll enable Owasso to hang around a lot longer than it did in week 2, but in the end, probably Broken Arrow has too much firepower. And again, this is a Saturday game, 7 o'clock. It's going to be at H.A. Chapman Stadium over at TU. And then in Class 5A, these are not semifinals yet. We're in quarterfinals. They have one more round than 6A1 and 6A2. It's the Battle of the Bishops here. Bishop McGuinness from Oklahoma City going on the road to take on Bishop Kelly from Tulsa in a rematch of a thriller earlier in the regular season. Yes, it's a rematch, another week 2 rematch. That game, McGuinness won in overtime on a field goal. This has all the ingredients to be that close again. Bishop Kelly's won 9 in a row. McGuinness is really hot too. Its only loss since the season opener was by 6 points to Carl Albert, and that's pretty impressive. Yeah. If there's such a thing as a good loss, that's it. So you got 2 hot teams. McGuinness always seems to be playing its best football at this time of the year. It's been Bishop Kelly, it's been a long time since they've got to the semifinals. Will this be the year that Bishop Kelly gets there? They've had so many good teams, but seem to just come up short at this time of the year. But I remember the great basketball coach Nolan Richardson said when someone was asking him about early in his career when he was unsuccessful his first few trips to the NCAA tournament, he said, well, if you keep going down and trying to draw water out of the well, you'll eventually get some. And that was it with Nolan Richardson. Yeah. He wound up, winning in the NCAAs. So I think, maybe this is Bishop Kelly's year.
It'll be interesting. It'll be a great game. Don't forget to pick up a Tulsa World Friday. They'll have a preview of all Friday night's action, plus the preview of the 6A1 semifinals on Saturday will also be in the Friday paper, the Tulsa World. Then pick up a Saturday edition to see all the coverage from the night before. Always have great photos and scores and stats and game recaps. And then Sunday, you'll have the recaps of the 6A1 semifinals, the Backyard Bowl rematch, and the Owasso Broken Arrow rematch. And you can always go to okprepsextra.com, which we see right there in the logo. Great high school website that the Tulsa World puts on. As far as Fox 23, we will be going live Friday at 6:20 to preview our Fox 23 Game of the Week Friday night edition, which is that Stillwater game against Booker T. Should be a good one. Heather Geller will be live from the stadium in that one. Then at 10:15, we'll have 15 minutes of high school football highlights. Make sure you tune in for that. And then on Saturday, kind of a little different for us because we have the OU football game against Kansas on our air Saturday night. So after that, we're going to do a newscast and then a post-game show. And we'll have, of course, OU and OSU and TU, but also lots of coverage on the Backyard Bowl and the OU Owasso Broken Arrow rematches from the 6A1 state semis. So make sure you check that out Saturday night. And always, you can go to the fox23.com high school football page. Thanks for watching.